Do you see what's happening this morning? Do you see what's happening? We just harvested breakfast off the land, and this is an area less than an acre. Guys, most of you in that situation, look, there's pure abundance and so little space, and much more of this space could be used even more efficiently. Look, gosh, we have 5 species of birds in our yard. We've got chickens, turkeys, guineas, ducks, goose. Oh my gosh. They're building a garden area here to be planted next. We got a mama hen and her chicks. We've got turkeys building the soil, mowing the grass. Chickens over there laying eggs, working the kitchen garden. We got fruit trees. We got raspberries. Look, we're going to eat this morning. There's a bounty of eggs in there. Look at this kid. He just got it from one flock right here. Come on, let's go see what's in there. Look, we got chickens in here, laying their eggs, giving us fresh eggs. Oh my gosh, guys, do you see all these eggs? This is insane. This is my front yard. There are so many eggs in this stuff. What in the world are we gonna do with all these eggs? Well, I know what we're gonna do with them. We're gonna eat them. Insane. And we're just talking about my front yard up here. Guys, there's my side yard and my backyard going crop gardens. And look, there's room for so much more. The Cornish cross were right there. We grew a year's worth of chicken in 51 days. Do you see the possibilities here? I could have condensed this even much smaller. There could be so much more even going on in this front yard. See the empty spaces? Absolutely incredible. Why aren't more people doing this? Converting their front lawns into gardens.
You're live. You're doing it again. You're live.
I'm live. I was just told. I didn't know this. Better than being dead, right? Well, had a great weekend. Caught up with some friends that we met last year at the Appalachia conference, and we made some new friends. So it was all a plus. Mama saw her and hubby there, and Jenny and her hubby. It was just wonderful. We had a good time, and some laughs when we all went out for dinner. It was cool. We didn't make to the cabin and have a go around the campfire. By the time we got out of the restaurant Saturday night, it was 11 or thereabouts. We pretty much closed up the restaurant. Other than that, talked to Rebecca. They were having technical difficulties trying to get their Skype to work. So Daryl's going to do a short song and dance routine for you.
What?
Oh.
No. No, but he's
country girl. You and there's lizard lady here.
Yeah, he's getting it connected. So
we can have country girls sing, but nobody will hear her. She can sing at her place, but we won't be able to hear her.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
and we caught up with Papa Truck this weekend also.
Well, yeah. A lot of people will spend some time with aldermans and.
Yeah. Christy wants you to do song and dance.
I number one, I don't sing.
Deep South Homestead. Your sister wants you to do a dance also.
No, didn't happen.
Hey, Linda. Yes. Good suggestion, Rocky Brook, especially for tonight. So I did slow the chat down. So tonight we're gonna go in slow mode.
Slow mode.
Grizz says if you sing, he's leaving.
Well,
Grizz, you're more than welcome to do a duet.
He is stuck here then because I'm not singing.
He's on here also, Linda? Oh my gosh, I have both my sister and my brother-in-law.
Wow.
And Jason. Good, Rocky Brook. I didn't even think about that earlier. I thank you for reminding me, because I thought, some of these chats, they can just fly through. You're welcome, Miss B Lady. Yeah, Wholesome Roots, when you do your chats, at the top where it says live chat, there's that little flower. Click that and you have the option to slow the chat down. Yeah, and that way when you're a typist like I am and you type one line, then put it in and you start to do another one, it won't let you put that second one in that fast.
Well,
that's why I told him, Country Girl, you could sing for us, but nobody else would hear it.
one of the things that we could do right now, since we're waiting on Justin, let me see what I can get pulled up here on the screen.
Okay. I don't think I caught up with them. And if I did, a lot of folks I didn't ask names. Some folks came up to me and go, "Hi, I've been looking for you." And I go, "Okay, fine." I didn't know who they were.
Okay, well let me slide this over here.
Okay.
And what I have here is Justin Rhodes' homepage on YouTube. And 2 days ago, they put out a video for $1,000 giveaway. And it's $1,000 worth of product or whatever. If you go down in the description of this live stream, there should be a link right at the top that will get you entered into that. So we'll just do our little plug right now for him.
There you go.
If you watch this video, this is where he describes everything that he's given away. And it's everything from soil blocks to books to electric poultry netting, as well as his film. It's simply amazing. So I'm not going to play his 5-minute video here, but if you click that link down in our description, we should have one of the mods just test that just to be sure. Just have them click on that link and make sure that that gets them to the sign up page.
Woohoo! Rose hit 5,000 subscribers.
Congratulations, Rose. Way to go.
Didn't you have a contest on with Will? You did, but I don't remember what it was for. Good, Tim. I'm so glad to hear you're doing good. Awesome. Yeah, we're not allowed to have chickens here either, Ellen. I'd like a goat, but it could probably be hidden by all the dogs we had. They would never know. And Anna said it works. She just entered.
Great.
Thank you. No, B Lady, I don't remember that, tell you the honest truth.
Okay, Country Girl, thank you very much.
That's
That's
a good idea.
Okay, and for those of you that have just
thank you, Papa Truck,
that have just joined the chat, I have been in contact with Rebecca via the telephone. They're having a couple technical difficulties. I don't know exactly what it is, but Justin's working on it and it's going to get checked into us here very shortly. So right now, it's Sherry's turn to do the song and dance.
I've been doing the song and dance, talking as fast as I can to get you to do it.
We're in slow mode.
Didn't I tell you that?
So anyway, they will be with us here shortly.
I agree with you, Wildflower. I totally agree with you. But we haven't been able to find that we can afford.
So how did everybody's weekend go? Did the weather stay decent for you? We sat through some rain.
No rain today. It's
No.
always when we leave to go somewhere, it's raining.
Yes.
When we come home, the weather's beautiful.
Or snowing.
Or snow.
That's a form of rain, I suppose.
Well, we had hail that one time.
Well, that's a form of rain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what happens in these mountains. You got that right. Talk more about our weekend. We saw Mountain Mama. Well, I said Mountain Mama and her hubby, Jenny, Betting the Farm and her hubby, Papa Truck. We didn't. I saw his son, but I didn't see his wife and the little one. In fact, Papa Truck went to dinner with us all Saturday night. We thought they were going to put us at a long table. There was 10 of us, I think.
I think there was 10 of us.
Because we told them we wanted to all sit together. They put us in 3 different booths. Again, the second time that's happened. You get Jason Smith from Cog Hill Farm. Oh, the dancing. Okay, I saw that video. He's the one that had the challenge type thing to do a dance video. Gotcha. Nah, I don't do a dance video. Papa Truck, we got home about 5:30.
About 5:30.
5:30, quarter till 6.
Yeah.
Because we stopped, and traffic in Columbus was crazy this time.
Yeah. We unfortunately were coming through Columbus just at the start of the rush hour, and it was not good because we came all the way straight through Columbus.
Starry seemed to be she was great.
Yeah.
She was doing real good.
Yep.
And we went into the building early.
Hello.
Friday afternoon, Friday evening when we got there.
Doing?
And got to see some of the stuff that were already setting up.
Oh.
Aldermans were already there. They were getting their table set up. Starry had hers set up. And she had some of the items that was Mr. Hilder's for sale. Jesus,
we
help
can
me
do
get
that.
rid of these or something was on the table. So, and she gave some good talks. Had some good.
What, the computer just not booting? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Rick, you got that right. It's instead of getting off 71 to go pretty much through downtown, which is what we usually do. The program we used took us 315 to 670.
Well, let me do this.
And it was still bumper to bumper.
Is this the best number to talk to you on the phone with? Okay. So what I'll do, so that I can port this in, is I will call you back using Skype. So we'll just run it through that way.
Malfunction junction in Columbus. Diane,
Okay.
what's the malfunction
So
junction?
give me a couple minutes to set this up, and I will call you back. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, and if you want
I
to,
don't think I've lost any, Michelle.
if you want to just share with them, we're going to try this the Joel Salatin way. He has no monitor on his computer.
Okay. Justin just called Daryl, and they have no monitor. Their monitor is out.
So I'm going to
So
initiate.
we're going to do what we did with Joe Salatin.
Yeah, I'm going to initiate a phone call, and we're going to do it on the phone. And
Yeah. Tigger! I just saw you a little bit ago.
Oh,
Good. Roberta's, everyone needs to, and we have a link for Justin's contest in our description down here. Go ahead and click on that. And pretty good contest he has going. Yeah, we will still have a good time, Country Girl. You're right. Rosanna, someone asked me to put the chat on slow mode because once Justin gets on here, the questions in the chat is going to just roll. We have had that happen with the big channels. Downtown split 70 and 71. We bypassed that. We went 71, 315, 670. Traffic finally broke up about where the jackets. Soccer, is it soccer? The one stadium on 71? My mind went blank. What do I know?
Well, Matt Freed Stadium or something?
Yeah, Matt Freed Stadium.
Okay. Well, since I can't do this ahead of time, we're just going to have to come into the show live here. So,
okay.
You're going to hear me make the phone call to him, and he will be connected. We'll make sure that we have volume here and so forth, and we'll go from there. So,
Thank you, Michelle.
Here we go.
Decided tomorrow I'm going back.
Hello.
Hello, Justin. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. You are
Good.
Live on the air. I want to have somebody come back and tell us that they can hear you okay.
Hey, group.
Okay, good.
Can you hear what's going on here? Let me just put yes.
You want me to keep talking so they can see if they can hear me or not?
Yes, they can hear you. They can hear you fine.
They can hear you fine. I was pretty sure everything was would be able to work as we did. This is the same setup that we used with Joel Salatin, only I had a picture of him to throw up on the screen. So maybe I can get one of you to throw up on the screen here. So how are things in North Carolina?
Everything's good. I mean, spring is here, so it's getting kind of crazy. But the weather's great. It's just amazing right now.
Wonderful. We have already promoted a little bit of your giveaway.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Because I know that's something you just put out a couple days ago. So I'm curious, Justin, as we get some questions in here, let me ask you a couple.
Sure.
What possessed you to get started in YouTube?
Before we were doing YouTube, we were teaching people how to grow their own food through blogging, which is like writing articles. We wrote extensive articles every week. It was about raising chickens, and it just involved me. So I would, work my tail off. It was hard to get interrupted while writing, and then that happens a lot when you have 4 kids in the house and you're working from home. And so us as food growing educators discovered vlogging from this, just some random viral video that came across Rebecca's Facebook feed. Doesn't even have to do with homesteading. And she checked it out, and she was like, wait a minute, what is this? And these people were documenting their lives, and we just thought, wait a minute, could we just document our lives via video, and then everybody would be involved? So it was a cool way to have the whole family involved. You can more easily be interrupted while vlogging. In fact, that can sometimes be more entertaining. And it's something that, and even when we edit, it doesn't take the concentration as does writing. And then Rebecca and I both edit, so it's just a bigger, better family affair.
Very interesting. So, have you, I had a whole series of things here to chat with you about, and I'm just going to do it here,
sure.
even though you can't really see us. I did a quick search of your name, just Googled it to see what places I could come up with. And the first one that actually popped up was a site called Famous Birthdays. And it's Justin Rhodes, YouTube star. And it claims here that your birthday is October the 31st, 1978. Is that accurate?
That's right.
It also says you were born in California.
Oh, and don't tell anybody that.
We can't tell anybody that? Well, it's a little late now.
I'm just kidding. That's my, I like to claim North Carolina because it's all I know. I was actually born in California because my dad was
out there doing business.
Okay.
But the reason I joke, I'm just joking. It doesn't matter. I was born in Pomona, California, the same hospital Mark McGuire was born in. And I was 2 when we moved back here. So my dad had kept the land here and moved back. And so it's all I know. And having traveled the country, I certainly identify with this area more. I even have family in California still. We saw them. It was where we saw the wild horses. For those people who follow our blog and who follow the Great American Farm Tour, kind of the wild horses scene kind of ended up being certainly probably one of the best drone sequences of the whole tour, and one of the most beautiful, because we ran into some wild horses out there. I have some cousins that we love out there, and we just had a great day out there. When my dad came, my dad flew out there, and so I've got some good memories out there, but North Carolina is certainly home.
Great. Well, another place that came up was the Permaculture Worldwide Network, and they have a little write-up about you. And you may not even be aware of some of these. I don't know.
No, I haven't even researched my own self, have I? I thought you were going to come across the mountain board days, man. I'm surprised that didn't show up.
Well, there was a lot of stuff that showed up. I kind of tried to pick a few. I tried to pick a few things that were maybe more in the weeds. So.
Okay.
Well, Justin, I do want to tell you that Rose is in here. Wholesome Roots, you know Rose.
Okay.
And,
hi, Rose.
And Out of Goshen is also here, so I know you know those two families.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Out of Goshen.
And I saw that.
Good to know who some of the folks are online right now.
Yes.
I know that somebody said happy birthday to Rebecca earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Yep.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Yes.
And Mountain Mama.
We enjoyed a good birthday with her.
They also Mountain Mama. They also live in North Carolina.
Yeah, Mountain Mama has a it's a place in North Carolina there.
Yep.
And well, just some of the other people that I quickly see in here is a Rick Mitchell, J.D. Allison, Red Duchess Farm, Duncan 1900 Homestead, Bandana Grandma. I don't know if you recognize any of these names or not. Country Girl.
Man, all the cool people are here tonight.
Well, we just have, and I know there's some questions previous to this. I hope maybe our moderators can catch them again for me. But Down East Waves is asking, "How's your cow?"
Oh, she's still about the same, because they're asking that because our cow has been breathing hard lately. We've been showing that on the blog, and we are going to go ahead and treat her we took her temperature. She was fine. I think I did that today, so that'll be out in tomorrow's vlog. And she does have a bit of a runny nose, so we're actually going to treat her for a cold, and I imagine that would treat it if it's, God forbid, pneumonia or something. So we're going to, we have Synergy Animal Products is what you call. It's a natural oil-based treatment, and we've had real good luck with that with some of our cows in the past when they were more sickly. We've never had the hard breathing, but we've had sicknesses, and it has helped a lot. So we're going to start that tomorrow morning.
And Amy Fuel is in the room.
Oh, right. I told you all the cool people were here.
Yeah. Yeah, because we'll be seeing Justin again in October.
Yeah, you're going to be attending the conference there in Virginia, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
Yeah. Well, they did a fantastic job last year, so I can't
well,
wait.
The way the weather's been, the creek's likely to rise, but I'm sure the Lord's willing.
I know.
There's a few. Rocky Brook wants to thank you for all the great inspiration you give. Bee Lady Apiary. There are a lot of beekeepers here on the stream, and I know there was a question.
Good.
No, there was a question earlier about your sheep, and I'm not sure where it went to. So whoever it was that put that there, if you could do it again for me, we'll go ahead and grab it.
And somebody, I didn't catch the name, says that they absolutely love the way you are with your kids, and don't you ever get mad?
Oh, sure. I'm like anybody else, and I have my moments.
But they're very
do my
selective.
best. Certainly,
Sure.
If you videotape yourself every day, it actually helps you become a better person. So I have a little bit of an advantage there.
Okay, and there's a
But
few
certainly,
people in here.
but you know what I think the key is here. Certainly, if I mess up and get mad at the kids or Rebecca, I always make sure I apologize.
Sure.
And because I think they need to know that I'm not perfect, and so that I won't let them down when they're like 20 and they figure out I'm not perfect on their own. I kind of want to be the one to tell them.
Yeah.
So I always make sure I apologize.
Well, Charlotte is asking how the lambs are doing on pasture.
The lambs are doing awesome on pasture. I didn't know how they would be doing for mowing. We bought them primarily to mow grass, and they're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, they're doing better than cows that eat absolutely everything, and they mow it nice. Like it's even. Like you're not going to get away with it at the golf club, but you would certainly get away with it at a farm for a decent looking mowed yard. And we're gradually moving them further and further away from their stall, and pretty soon we're going to have a mobile shelter, and they're going to be on their way mowing the farmhouse.
Awesome. And that 1870s Homestead is asking, what breed of pigs are you getting?
Some blog fans we're getting some American guinea hog from a couple of blog fans, and then we're getting 2 of those, and mainly they like to see that breed get promoted, and so we're going to just see how they work, and then we're going to get just traditional hogs. They're mixed. They're similar to like what Joel Salatin would get, or Dennis at Full Circle Farm. They're just kind of your 1950s traditional hog. I don't remember the breeds. Rebecca would know for sure. We're getting 2 of those, so it'll be kind of neat to have a side-by-side comparison.
And Grandma Rose's Homestead is asking, she didn't ask about the sheep earlier, but she says, do you have, and I'm not sure the pronunciation, Merino, M-E-R-I-N-O?
Meringo.
No, there's no G in it. That's a tree.
Well, I thought, okay.
She says their wool is wonderful to spin.
Oh, no, we have hair sheep. They're Katahdin.
Okay.
And we got the Katahdin, well, one, because we didn't want the wool. We just needed sheep to mow our grass from the spring to the fall, and then they're going to be harvested. And we had a somewhat local guy who was grass-based and had plenty of rams to choose from at a really good price. And we had heard that the Katahdin is a pretty hardy breed. And so far, I mean, we've only had them, three-ish weeks or something. They've been doing good for us.
Yes. We have a question. E. Cahill is asking, how is your Lyme disease?
That goes up and down. It's funny you asked that. Yesterday I was like crazy tired. I even said it in the blog, and that came out today. I was like, do you guys ever feel like I was just spent by the end of the day, and just had to press on because it's springtime and we needed to get the plants in the ground. We needed to get a sheep shelter built. Tomorrow I'm going to build what I'm calling a meat shawl, where we're going to raise meat chickens under a chickshaw type thing, and you just can't stop. But I was hurting yesterday with tiredness and foot pain, but today I feel like strong as an ox. So I guess I should answer your question with, it's kind of up and down.
And Rick Mitchell is asking, what is the status of Maple and if you still have her?
Yes, Maple, for those that don't know, is our converted school bus that we used last year to travel the country, all 50 states. And she is now for sale. And she's still for sale. I mean, we just slightly mentioned it on the blog, and if you're interested, just email me. I'll send you the info sheet on her. But hopefully, I mean, if we don't sell her that way, just through, kind of passive inquiries, we'll probably list her and let everybody know that way too. Like when I say list her, probably like Craigslist or something.
Right. Charlotte is asking if you got your garden out yesterday.
We did not, but we did finished getting our garden out today. So thank you for asking.
Haven't even started. I think it just defrosted about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, ours.
Ooh, yeah, I would say you're up in Ohio, so
Yeah.
you're not behind. And even here, our last frost date is May 10th. So even 2 years ago when we did 100 days of growing food, we didn't start till May 6th, and by the end of 100 days, we had 75% of our own food. So the best time to plant is now.
And you're doing that again this
now,
year?
as in like always.
and you're doing the 100 days again this year?
Yes, it starts May 10th.
Okay.
I decided to start on the last frost date. You know, we're going to jam it out. And there's all of May, you can plant a bunch of stuff here in North Carolina, and then you hit what we call the summer lull. So, but you could plant like, I don't know, 10 or 12 things that we like to eat. So we'll plant that. You know, you could buy Cornish cross meat chickens. I like to call them sea monsters because they just grow incredible. And, you grow those out in 54 days. So we're starting at May 10th and look forward to it. Season 2, if you think season 1 was 2 years ago and we challenged ourselves to grow as much as food we could in 100 days, we're going to do that again this year. And it's going to be incredible because I don't know what it was. I think because we were on the road for a year or 10 months and we had to miss growing food for a year when we had been growing food for 10 years. It was a good break, but we came back with a fire lit under us. I think
you realized
season 2, 100 days of growing food is just going to be off the chain.
Realized how much you really did miss it, I bet.
Yeah.
Bandana Graham is asking if did Maple cure you of wanting to go camping and bus traveling?
Yes, I will never do it again. She cured us good. She cured us good. We knocked it all out. I mean, for 10 months, 30,000 miles. Mm-hmm. I think we've done as much camping as anybody, and we're done. I think we're going to go the Airbnb route. When we go up to the Homesteaders conference in fall, we got us a nice Airbnb, and we're flying.
That's what we
and Rebecca doesn't even like flying.
Yeah, that's what we did. A friend of ours, Sullivan Family Homestead, Dana, she went on Airbnb and found a place and then asked us if we wanted to go half with it because it was a 3-bedroom home. Heck yeah. It was cheaper than the hotel.
Yeah. But we're driving.
Yeah, we're driving. It's only 7 hours from us. I think
you're a little
it's
closer.
Eric. I think it's Eric from out of Goshen asked if he has any blueberries yet because they're hungry for pie.
He's asking that because they came and helped us plant all those blueberries,
right.
And we'll be sure to contact them when those blueberries are in. That's in like that zone 2, which is a permaculture term for a little further away from the house. You plant your kitchen garden in zone 1. The closer, the more you visited something, you put it closer to the house, the more attention it needs. Those blueberries don't need much attention. So they're further away, so they don't get checked on as much. I looked over at them today. I didn't go close. We don't have any blueberries yet, but close. And the raspberries, just so anybody knows, we planted raspberries then too, and they're sprouting, and they're doing great. The system we use is just tried and true. I mean, for as long as the world has been here. And how we planted those blueberries is how nature does it. We put them in the ground, we put a weed barrier around it, and we put mulch. So we sped up what Mother Nature does in the woods, where she puts down a layer of mulch from the fall of the leaves,
right.
And underneath that you get this really rich stuff. You don't have weeds, you don't have these problems. It doesn't matter if it doesn't rain. Everything does fine. So I'm pretty confident in those blueberries over there. You have to maybe worry about somebody mowing over them on accident or something, but I don't think we'll have to worry about that because we stacked. I don't know. Eric will know. We 8 to 12 inches of mulch around them. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be the only work we're going to have to do that is go harvest our blueberries and then
yeah.
go bake the pie.
No doubt. Mountain Mama here says she just wants to tell you that you did a wonderful job on the premiere.
Oh, good. Thank you, Mountain Mama. She's talking about the Great America Farm Tour documentary premiere. I'm glad she enjoyed that.
Yes. That 1870s homestead, what are your plans with the home over on the property edition that you just purchased?
Oh, those are rentals.
Okay. And E. Cahill says, thank you for all your inspirational videos, Justin. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're welcome very much. Thank you for that. That's very encouraging. Because it's hard to balance it all. Grow the food, document it in well, and then put ourselves out there. And so we appreciate all the kind words. And
let me ask him a couple questions here. So just put everybody on hold for a second.
Okay.
All right, because I'm more on the technical side. We had the opportunity to actually meet you when you came through Ohio with your Great American Farm Tour.
Yeah, I sort of forced Daryl to try that blood sausage. He'll never do that again. He'll never do that again.
Him and Rebecca are in the Blood Sausage Club now.
Yeah, I saw the look on her face too.
But I have a tendency to kind of stand back and watch how other folks do their filming, how they handle crowds and so forth. And you kind of have a master's touch on that. Your ability to surround the situation that you're in and take control and get on the camera what you want on the camera is amazing.
Thank you.
Simply amazing. So my question to you is this something that you've just taught yourself, or is this something where you've had some formal training in the background?
I certainly just taught myself, and I'm all for that. I've been shooting movies, looking back now, to wonder I didn't start this earlier, because I've been making movies since I was a kid. I mean, we used to do skits. I can't wait to maybe this winter look through we still have some home videos. If I could pull those out and pop them in the vlog, it'd be so hilarious. We used to do skits. I even vlogged back before there was even vlogging. Like, vlogging is like turning the camera on yourself and telling the story and showing the story. And I did that way back, 20 years ago, before there was a YouTube somewhere to put it. I was turning the camera on myself and document it and telling, we had hiked the Grand Canyon with my dad. And I remember documenting that and, kind of narrating that in a vlog style way. So I think that the technical things, and I thought when you were going to get technical, I said, because I'm not very technical as far as what kind of camera or lens I have, or I don't get into heavy on the equipment. We just filmed on a little, what you call G7X, to launch our career on YouTube. And I think the key is capturing the story. You have to think about what is the story you want to tell, and you have to have this overarching story. For the Great American Farm Tour, it was a search for the greatest American farms, period. And sure, we had some side stories go on in there. We're not going to travel and bypass Washington, D.C., Sure. We're going to see the sites, and a little bit of detours are good, but when you have that overarching idea, like now we're a happy family trying to grow as much of our own food as we can. And so we stick to that theme. And, that's why we have happy moments with the kids. That's why we show the birthdays, but that's why we also show us planting. But you'll notice in a lot of my vlogs, there will have a goal, because a good story, you have a character that wants something. And in our case, we wanted to set out all the plants. But in every good story, there's obstacles. And so trying to capture those obstacles, not making obstacles, because golly, they'll happen, without trying. And then, how does the character get around it? I mean, I used to think some of our most popular videos are putting this fat hen out of her misery, knocking out this 1,000-pound bull, what in the world killed my chicken? It's like all these, like, what? Well, like, why are these our most popular videos? And at first I thought, oh, people are just sick. This is crazy. Why do they like these videos? And I don't think that's it. I think after giving it some time, people like those videos because they want to see how someone overcame a problem.
Okay.
And so if somebody's filming, if somebody wants to make a movie, think about and if it's about yourself, think about what you want. And then be sure to document don't just talk about the problems. If you can, try to catch them. Then you talk about, then you go into how you overcome them. So that's a classic story. That's a classic framework that you see in any movie. So to learn the technical stuff, I bought a online course called Do It Yourself Video Guy, and he taught me how to do what you call Adobe Premiere, which is an editing software.
Right.
And to learn filmmaking technique, I watch other good YouTubers that are good at it, like Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon, and I just try to pick up on some techniques. But one thing that they taught me, I don't even have time to watch them anymore, but one takeaway that anybody can take is you want to get better every day. You want to push yourself to get better, whether you're growing food or making movies. You want to just get better every day. Try a new technique, try something new every single day.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is do something today that makes tomorrow better than yesterday.
I like it.
So, all right.
Yeah, and if you do that every day, you're going to become incredible. I mean, a year's got 365 days, so if you made one little notch in your food growing or your filmmaking or your writing, if you made one little improvement every day, you're going to be a beast in a year or two.
Do you actually prepare a script for yourself before you turn the camera on?
Most of the time not. Now, one business guy I look up to, Gary Vee, he said, you want to document, don't want to create. And so I do mostly documentation. So I'm trying to catch, I like to think that our show is like a reality show. So I'm catching the moments. Now, sometimes if Jonah or Lily or whatever says something cute, I'll say, would you say that again? Mm-hmm. And, of course, I edit out the would you say it again, but they said it. It really happened. We didn't make it up. Now, if you see Mr. Mullet come out, that's like an alter ego, crazy or normal neighbor, that kind of interacts with me on the movies. Or if you see, there's some of these, what was one recent? So there are one every once in a while that are maybe got a little bit more meaning. Maybe I have a message that I want to be sure to get across. I will script it. I think I Was Once Lonely and Inept was the name of the last movie that I scripted. And so I just basically make an outline, and then I'll look at my notes, say it, and kind of even script the whole for the Great American Farm Tour, I had 3 pages of outline. I spent 3 weeks storyboarding that, where how could I not? Because here I was going to have to put 300 videos together to come up ultimately with a 2-hour movie. I had to say, what do I want? What am I after? And I had to outline that and write it down. And then basically all it was then was looking at my notes and going and finding that footage and just plugging it in. So sometimes it's appropriate in my case. Other times I'm just going for it. If I plan anything, I'm planning what I want to do that day.
Well, one thing
like tomorrow, I'm going to build a meat shaw. I'm going over to my friend Drew's house, and that's what the character in the story wants tomorrow. And I'm sure there's going to be things, we're going to be late starting out. We're going to maybe not have all our stuff, and we're going to have to do a run to Lowe's. Who knows? But, it's hard. Those are the moments. We got to go to Lowe's. Those are the moments that most people might want to cut out, because maybe maybe it's not necessary. But if you're storytelling, now if you're making an instructional video, and that's what people have come to expect from you, don't leave it in there. But if you're trying to tell a story of your life and your struggle to homestead, then you want to say something about, then you want to show, oh my, we only have 3 bolts and we need 4. We got to go to Lowe's.
Okay, now
because that's your obstacle.
Something
and that keeps people on the edge, thinking, "Oh my gosh, is he going to get this thing done?"
Something I like to do before we have a guest on is I try to do a little bit of research on them, and one of the things I do is I go back and see what the oldest videos that they've done are available, just to see how they've progressed.
Mm-hmm.
So in doing that with you, just for example, the oldest video that's available to me on your channel is called Permaculture Chickens, where you're already laughing. Yeah, you're waking up in the morning, the alarm clock's going off, you jump out of bed and you go to cook your breakfast and you don't have enough eggs.
Yeah.
Do I have that pretty right?
Yeah.
And then you throw a coat on and you jump in your boots and go out and get some eggs, and you haven't taken the bacon off. It's still burning in the skillet. Come back in, crack the egg on it. So I just, it's almost like, how does one think of doing all this stuff?
Well, I laughed because that's a bad example of my first work, because that was a really good piece. And the reason that was really good is because I had a nice revelation to tell that story that way, but 2, I had a really professional film guy there, so it wasn't me. I wasn't filming at that point yet.
Okay.
If you want to see one of my first works, you got to see Chickens Escaping or something like that. But that idea came to me, that was going to be our Kickstarter video, and you have to solve a problem. I mean, if you're gonna sell something, you're gonna have to be solving somebody's problem. So, that is days of brainstorm. What problem are we solving? What benefit are we adding? And it's that. What is it? It's that. What are we providing in that commercial that you saw that used no words? It said everything, because it's quick, it's fresh. It's convenient. That story actually came from something that really happened. I was in my underwear cooking. I don't know where the family. I think it might have just been me. I think the kids and Rebecca had gone to Florida, and it was snowing. And I think this was around when I was working on something like that, on this. And I literally started cooking the bacon and realized, I don't have any eggs left. And I literally ran in my underwear to the chicken coop and back in the snow and cooked that eggs. Didn't have to turn anything off. And I'm thinking, that's what it's all about. Convenience in its own way, and just in that storyline hit me when I was about to go to sleep. And a lot of times, if you put it in your mind that you want to do something, I have this goal, I need to make this movie you show that having chickens can meet a real need, and you dwell on that, and you just keep dwelling on that. The same thing I did with coming up with the script for the Great American Farm Tour. It'll come. You just have it in your head. It might come late at night. It might come while you're doing chores. It just needs to be on the forefront of your mind. It needs to be every morning, physically trying to come up with the idea. Just that, but not necessarily forcing yourself to sit there. I'm not getting up until it happens. Just let it somehow be on the forefront of your mind, and your subconscious will come up with it eventually. I think that's what happened. That's what happens with me when I try to come up with the new concept or idea.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And folks in the chat, you got to hear the story behind the story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was good. You've done your research, buddy.
Oh, he was playing a video earlier, and I'm looking at his computer, and I go, the voice, I knew the voice, but I didn't know the face. So I go, who is that?
Yeah.
And he said, Justin. I said, he has a face full of hair.
He's got a different hat on.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Exactly, you did. Country Girl asked a while ago, what is the hardest part of keeping a balance between family and YouTube?
I would say, I don't know, we do a good job with it. So I would say the way that we do a good job with it is that for the most part, like I told you, we usually, I'll figure out what I want to capture that day or do that day on the farm. And pretty much, I mean, when I meet people, and a lot of times on the road, people were shocked at how little we actually filmed. And so knowing what our project is or story we want to tell that day makes that a lot easier, because if we're just capturing a project and maybe it's going to take 2 hours, or we're just going to capture the chores and it's just over 2 hours, you can put the camera down the rest of the day. And even when we're coming up on vlogging 7 days a week, we're going to still take a day off. But, well, how do you do that? Well, on one day, we're going to capture the reality of the vlog, but then, and that'll be the next day's vlog, but then also on that same day, we're going to go around and do a farm update, go and update everything. Well, we can create and edit both those in one day and take a day off.
So you just put one in the can, so to speak.
Yeah, I think you have to be, because and just schedule it to upload 2 days from now or whatever.
Yep.
I did that with the Great American Farm Tour. We uploaded every single day except for 2 days because we got the flu in a foreign country, and we're like, okay, this is going to get very boring, us filming ourselves sick in this bus. But what we did, we took 5-6 days off or something when we came home. We just pre-uploaded videos, and we let our audience know, hey, it's not going to be vlogs, it's going to be special videos. And actually, those ended up being 2 of our more popular videos. I mean, one of them was the tractor video for kids, and that's by far the most popular video, 6.4 million views. But you have to, just like with anything, whether it's growing food or filming or writing, or because we work at home, we have to set ourselves some boundaries. We're very scheduled, and sometimes that other people, friends and family, might not understand that, but we have to be very structured. We pretty much go to bed at the same time every day, every single day, 7 days a week. Get up at the same time. This is when we do chores. This is when we eat. This is when we vlog. This is when we have time for some social activities, etc.
Well, I am so glad that you found some time to allow us to join you here this evening.
I was tickled pink when you wrote back and said yes. I turned around and looked at Daryl, and I think my whole house, shook. It was like I was just so stoked.
Well, good. It's a good thing you guys are doing, and I'm happy to support it.
Oh, thank you so much. Everybody just loves Justin and Rebecca and all the kids, so we were always watching what was going on. Rocky Brook here is asking if you grow moringa.
No.
I don't know would it grow. I know they grow in California where it's real warm. I know we can't here unless
I think they'd have to greenhouse it.
Yeah, that's the only way we could do it here was in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
Another question is, will you be getting turkey and breeding your own turkey?
I won't be getting turkeys this year. We've ended up overdoing ourselves with the lambs and the pigs, and of course we have the chickens. So we're going to save the turkeys for next year. We got to save something for next year, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's because we still got bees and trees, and there's still a lot up our sleeves. But dogs, but one thing at a time, or should I say 10 things at a time?
Yeah, there's not.
We've maxed out our 10 things this year.
There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah,
I know.
Daryl's been looking at videos and having thoughts of maybe starting to build some bee houses.
Beehives.
Beehives.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He built a friend of ours. She has a channel.
He knows her.
Built her a soapbox.
He knows her.
Tara from Living on a Dime.
Yep.
Yeah. He made a soapbox for her, and she gave him thumbs up, and he went back to making some more. So all we have to do is just figure out what to do. It's Etsy and all that other wonderful stuff.
Yeah, well, just a little background on us for you here, Justin, is we're both retired. We do not have a lot of property. We have pretty much a half-acre suburban type lot. We do gardening. We do not have animals. And one of the things we love to do.
Well, we do have animals.
Well, we have 5 dogs.
"Quote unquote" harvest them.
Yeah, no, we can't harvest them. But we enjoy traveling, and we enjoy helping other channels and just building community. That's one of the things we love doing.
Well, we have our garden, and we can and
we can and
dry
garden
and whatever. So,
but we don't have a farm per se. We don't have anything like that.
We're more like a
suburban homestead. We're both retired. We're kind of past that age. We couldn't do it anyway. If it was given to us on a plate, we wouldn't have the ability to do it. So, that's kind of aging in place type thing, which is something you need to think about too.
He has a lot of years.
He's got a lot of years, yeah. You are not even 40 yet.
Papa Prepstetter here is asking, how did you come up with calling the little one Mr. Brown?
He likes that book by Dr. Seuss, Mr. Brown.
Oh, jeez.
Excuse me, I got a lump in my throat. He likes that book by Mr. Brown, Can Moo, Can You. That was like one of his first favorite videos. We tried to do nicknames for fun in the beginning, and Mr. Brown's is the only one that stuck, really. Well, the beautiful one. We call her that every once in a while still. But Joan and Josiah were thing 1 and 2, and I don't even remember what Lily was. We stuck with the Dr. Seuss theme, but
that's cute.
I can't even remember now.
Well, I know that you've also done some, I'm going to probably say some extended studying, like with Joel Salatin and some other people. Can you share with us some of the other people that you've studied with and have learned from?
Let's see. I've read just about every one of Joel Salatin's books. I've sat through, probably one of the most beneficial things I ever did was sat through Joel Salatin's, he had a webinar course one time, and it was 4 hours. One was on meat chickens, one was on laying chickens. I developed a lot of my stuff from that for permaculture chickens. Also, Harvey Ussery, Small Scale Poultry Flock. If somebody asked me, what is one book I would get for growing chickens, that would be it. Harvey Ussery. It's an excellent book, Small Scale Poultry Flock. And then I studied under Pat Foreman, which she wrote the book called Chicken Tractor, and she did it was like a 12-hour course on raising chickens, and it was really cool. And she really knows her stuff and is available to people, and she does online classes like that all the time where you meet every week. And the cool thing about that was at the end, at the very end of the class, you come up with your own presentation. And so I actually wrote an article and posted on my website. It was called "You Keeping Your Flock Alive and Happy During the Winter" or something like that. And, it ended up being a 3,000 or 4,000 word article on raising chickens in the winter. So there's Pat Foreman. She's a great information. I tell people if they could only have one book on a desert island or a cold temperate island or tropical, to take Bill Mollison's book, Intro to Permaculture. I've studied that. I also have his the Bible of Permaculture, which is the Permaculture Designer's Manual. It's like over, I would say it's over 600. I don't know. It's a bunch of pages, and that I studied that under Jeff Lawton. I call him the grandson of permaculture because he studied under Bill Mollison, was one of the founders, and then I studied at Jeff Lawton's farm in Australia. You can't get any further away from North Carolina than Australia. And I went straight to the source and studied under him, saw his amazing farm with his dairy cows, his forest clearing goats, his grass mowing ducks, his chickens fed 100% on compost, prepping the crop garden area, the 1 acre crop garden area, the interns, the off-grid facilities. And so studying under Jeff with his online videos a number of years ago, and then in person, and pretty much, I think I said all Joel Salatin's book, and a number of other books like Gaia's Garden by Toby Hemingway, which is a permaculture yard-based garden book, and I think I unloaded on you. Oh, for growing vegetables and stuff, The New Organic Grower by Elliot Coleman. And this is a really good one too, The Four Seasons Harvest by Elliot Coleman. It teaches you how to grow, not necessarily grow, I should say harvest veggies all through the winter. Now this guy's in Maine, and he ran his CSA one year. CSA is where you give customers veggies every week. He ran his, most people run it in the summer. He ran his in the winter, and he lives in Maine. So if he can do it in Maine, I can certainly do it in North Carolina, and we have. I mean, we've had fresh greens for Christmas, on Christmas and beyond. And that's one of my most favorite things to do, is because it's one of the easiest gardens to do, because you plant it in the fall. You just worry about keeping it covered if it's going to frost or snow, and that's it. It grows to a point into the winter, and then it quits growing, and then you just harvest it. But if the veggies quit growing, so do the weeds, and there ain't no bugs around. So it's actually one of the most easiest gardens. It's like easier to garden during the winter than any other time. It's absolutely crazy. And it blows everyone's mind, including mine still.
I have a question here. Tigger Bouncing is asking, the fire cider that Rebecca made, did it cure your Lyme disease, and how long did it take?
I wouldn't say it did. I wish I could tell you. I didn't take it much. Actually, I haven't even taken the one she's made. It has to sit for a while. I think the best thing that I did for my Lyme disease is, I would say, slowing down, de-stressing. I do CBD oil. I did garlic supplements, and like via pill, like a lot of doses of garlic. And that's been some of the best stuff for me. Now, I'm not going to say that's for anybody. That's been under the direction of an actual MD that thinks more naturally. And unfortunately with Lyme, because everybody's symptoms are so different, unfortunately, I'll get emails saying, the raw milk cured me. A2 raw milk cured me. Well, that hasn't helped me much. And other people, that didn't do anything for me. Ozone, what you call ozone therapy, that helped me. That's the ticket. We rented a what you call a beamer machine one time. You lay on it, and I don't even understand it. Rebecca understands it. That helped me more than anything. I was feeling the best I ever had on that. So I think just you got to stick with stuff long enough for it to take effect. And then we tried everything. I mean, we were desperate, and we even tried antibiotics. And that, if you know us, if you watched our vlog, that's like, we ain't never going to do that, but we did, and did it for a while, and that didn't work. So, but for some people it does. So you just got to keep trying things, but try it long enough to make sure it's going to work.
Justin, you can tell me if I'm off base here, but in watching you for some time, we've watched you for some time here now. It seems very apparent to me that, number one, you're a family person. You love your family.
Very much so.
Another thing that you very much enjoy is teaching others. Am I on the right wavelength there? That you enjoy?
I think so, yeah, for sure.
Enjoy teaching others? Do you see yourself stepping back, and I'm not saying in the next couple of years, but down the road a little bit, stepping back from actually doing and going more into teaching? And the reason I say this,
I think I see what you're saying with that question, but I would say, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but certainly, because I think naturally what happens is as you get older, you get wiser and slower. So I think naturally you end up doing more teaching than doing, because you have more and more experience, and you're having to slow down more physically. I mean, I told Jonah today, pretty soon you're going to be running the farm and telling me what to do. And Joel Salatin, Daniel's Joel's son, been telling him what to do for a long time. And I think us dads are very happy for that to take place.
Yeah.
Well,
In fact, I'd be tempted to have another kid just so. I told Rebecca, man, maybe we should have another kid, because I want to make sure we get at least one Daniel. One kid that wants to stick around and run the farm.
Oh, yeah. When we had Joel on, I looked up what his itinerary was for this year, and his traveling overseas and teaching all these classes, and I guess I can kind of see you moving into that same sort of a thing here in the future.
Yeah. Just give Jonah a few more years.
Yeah.
And then I'll be traveling.
Mountain Mama's asking if you have ever made kefir from cow's milk yet.
No, we have not made kefir. We have made countless yogurt, but kefir is on our wish list, our to-do list.
Oh, and Sherry from 70 Farms, she is the best bread baker, one of the best bread bakers I've ever met. Saying they are going to try to go to year-round market there in Oxford, Mississippi area. Do you think the covered garden method would work in the South?
Do you think she's talking about growing vegetables in the winter? The covered garden.
Could be. Hopefully she'll.
I certainly think if now growing wheat, I don't know, because what we're talking about growing during the winter is pretty much winter hardy crops like salad, spinach, mustard, those kinds of things, or kale, those kinds of things.
And she said
we're
yes.
Not planting.
Yes, that's exactly what she's asking. She said yes, that's exactly what she's asking.
Yeah, we're not planting any because we're using non-heated. No, you want to use a heated greenhouse? We went up and saw J.M. Fortier in Canada, and he's growing cucumbers and tomatoes, all well out of range, and they're way up there, and way above any of us. And but it's a heated greenhouse. So if you want to heat a greenhouse, and even in Alaska, when you only get 4 hours of full daylight during the winter, you have a problem. What you need in the winter, okay, if you can protect your crops from frost, you still have a problem because you still have to have daylight for your crops to grow, or something light. So the guy we visited at the strawberry farm in Alaska, guess what he has to do? Supplemental light. So if you want to do supplemental light and heat, which can be expensive, you can do it. But for us, we do what you call the unheated greenhouse. And so, well, actually low tunnel. It's not even a greenhouse. It's just metal hoops, metal conduit bent with a pole bender. And then what Agrabah is the name of the fabric that we put over that. That's like 10 feet wide, and it goes over that hoop. Nice. It will go over like a 4-foot bed, 4-foot area, and it's inexpensive, and it protects from frost. And then if it snows, technically you're supposed to put some greenhouse plastic on there. We don't get too heavy a snow, so that Agrabah can kind of hold up to it. But best practice would be in the snow to put some greenhouse plastic on there, which can hold up the snow a little bit better. And then, so you have to think a little bit different. You have to think hardy winter crops, and you change your. It's like the chicken. They're going to stop laying eggs in the winter unless you put supplemental light on them. But if you think about what happens in nature, you go down and maybe you can get a banana all year round. But for the most part, there's a season to all these foods. I call it the egg season. And we took a break from eggs this last winter, and we had to get creative, and we went online, and and we're paleo too, which means we just eat meat and vegetables and animal fats and stuff like that, and nuts, and that's about it, and fruits. And so we had to go online, and we're thinking, boy, we're already restricted enough, and we found some amazing recipes that we still eat that don't involve eggs. And when we take a 2-month break from eggs and you come back, you really appreciate it. And it's not like, oh my, eggs again. And so I think if we could practice that with some other things, wouldn't that be, I'm not saying I'm there, because we like our salsa and chips in the winter just like anybody else, but maybe one day we will be, where we take a break from tomatoes in the winter. And certainly that's how we had to do it 100 years ago. And I think we would not only, I think it would be healthier for us. I think we'd certainly be more appreciative when it came in, when things were in season, and we'd look forward to things. And I think it might deepen, it would give us a nice experience, I think it would create a nice experience that we wouldn't regret if we could do it.
I have another question here. Country living in East Oregon, is this the first time that you have raised sheep?
Yes, this is the very first time I've raised sheep. My family, 7 generations in North Carolina, 4th generation on this farm. We've never raised sheep. This is the first. But we have a good guy, Dan Oman. I've got him via text and can text him if I have any problem. Brandy Kleiman, too, a vlog fan, also a shepherd. So I feel like that's a good thing about the internet. It's interesting because we're teaching and showcasing this very ancient thing. Like my dad watches the show. He's 84 years old. He can remember. And if you didn't grow it, you didn't eat. Back when he was living on this place, no running water, electricity. And with the internet, we're actually searching and going after this very ancient thing. I mean, this permaculture thing. It's nothing new. People have been doing it for thousands of years, and now we're discovering it and bringing back what Dad and Grandpa didn't pass on to us. And it's able to share, and we're able to learn it faster than ever because of the internet, because of videos, because of texting. I text Dan and I have an answer in a minute. I don't have to go and research it. What do I do if the sheep have parasite? I suspect they have parasite. I just text Dan and he texts me back. And the next day, which happened today, I think it's going out tomorrow, we did a garlic molasses drench. We don't want to feed our sheep grain, but about everybody and their brother feeds sheep grain. We want to do it grass-fed like they've been for the last 10,000 years. Just to give them grass. But then how do you treat? The cool thing about it is, even if we want to do that super niched, we can find the answers because of the internet.
Yep, absolutely. It's an amazing world.
Where we're doing alfalfa treats, apple cider vinegar in the animal's water. The molasses garlic drench. We're living in an exciting time because, and that's why we have very little excuses, because we whether it's I need a meal, high protein meal, high protein, low carb meal that doesn't involve eggs, we just go ask Mr. Google Pants. That's what I like to call him, Google. And if we need to treat our sheep, give our sheep a treat without grain, just go ask Mr. Google Pants.
Okay. Well, listen, everybody in the room here, if you have any more questions, please get them to us now as soon as possible. We've been on for a while. We certainly don't want to infringe on Justin's family time. He's been very gracious. We had a couple technical issues here earlier, and we wound up just doing a phone session, which works for us, and we certainly appreciate him taking his time to chat with everybody that took the time to be here with us tonight. So if you've got more questions, please get them typed in, and we'll kind of wrap this up in another, 5-10 minutes. Is that okay, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. I know some more people have popped into the room. We've got Mapleberry Farm Off Grid in Canada. That's a relatively new channel, Justin, and they are
they're in family.
Yeah, they're building a homestead in Canada, back in the middle of the woods, I guess. Be the best way to say it.
Okay.
And,
cool.
And right now they're living in an RV, and they're going to build a house. And but right now they're off grid. They're just getting started, and they're sharing their experience. Grizz 270's in here. He's
question just came up. What is Mr. Brown's real name?
Gideon.
Okay, 7D Farm says, thanks so much, Justin Rhodes, visiting with you in Mississippi. I enjoy visiting with you in Mississippi. Okay.
Did I enjoy visiting Mississippi?
No. 7D Farms, who is Sherry, says, thanks so much, Justin. I enjoyed visiting with you in Mississippi.
Oh, good. Yes, I love that.
Getting started on homesteading is asking, when did you start ever dreaming of a homestead?
Let's see. It was Rebecca's idea, actually. That may come as a surprise to some folks. I don't know why she did it, but she got it in her head. You know, she kind of led the health charge for a while, and we've had this land. I've always wanted to live on our land. Why, I don't know, but I did. You know, having at the time I wasn't interested. When we got married, I wasn't interested in growing our own food. But she was like, she actually picked up that book I mentioned earlier, New Organic Grower by Elliot Coleman, and she by herself was going to start a CSA garden where every week you grow produce and deliver goods to paying customers. And then she got pregnant, and she had already sold some shares in that garden. So I took over and had to make it happen. And I think that's really when, you know, the fire got lit. You know, she initiated it, but I took over and then enjoyed it, and we've both been into it ever since.
So when you made your trip around the country last year, did you miss the actual gardening part?
Yes, for sure. And you know, it was hard. That was one of the hard parts about it. I mean, we showed that in the movie too, that, you know, we gave up a lot to go and do it. I think it was an important work, and I think it was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and so many people benefited from it. I would never say it was a mistake. It certainly was not. It certainly was the most amazing thing we could have done last year. But now, coming back, I think when you take a break, I would even say if somebody's like burning out and getting depressed over it, and I'm not saying we were, but I'm just saying with us coming back and having a new energy and a new fire for it, that if somebody were struggling, maybe you would take a break. Maybe the best thing you could do for your long-term growing plan is to take a year off and see if you don't miss it. And I guess, because what if you don't miss it? Then I guess you could do something else with your life. But probably in most cases, you would develop a deeper appreciation for it.
We have a question here. Last nice guy. Everyone swears by apple cider vinegar and animal water. I've never been able to find any specific evidence that it does do anything. Are you aware of any?
That would be a good question for Rebecca, so let me pipe her in there because she's the one that does all our research. And it's good for humans too, by the way. And she actually takes it every meal. Why is apple cider vinegar good for the animals?
Well, it helps.
Oh, we put her on the spot.
Well, for like the dairy cow, it actually does help keep mastitis away.
For the dairy cows, it keeps mastitis away.
And it can be like I think it does help with parasites.
It helps with parasites.
And I think it has potassium in it, doesn't it?
And it's got potassium in it. Oh, you should go to, I know where you go. Okay, go to the apple cider vinegar guys, I think, or maybe it's the vinegar guys. Let me get you a good online resource for it.
I don't know. I researched it so long ago, and it's just like, especially now, I just know what's listening. I take it for stomach acid.
Okay, I'll give you a go-to. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Go to vinegarguys.com. You hearing me?
I sure am.
Yep.
Yeah, oh my word. And then there's a page called benefits. Oh my word, it's all you ever need to know.
Yeah, okay.
It's called vinegarguys.com.
Yeah.
And it not only it'll tell you why it's good for you, it'll tell you how to apply it.
We've had a
and
comment,
that's for
we've had
it
a
might
comment
just be
left
for
in
cow.
here that from Mindy 74. I'm struggling because I can't convince my husband to move to a homestead. So let's just touch on that subject. What if you have one spouse on board and the other one is not? Do you have any words of wisdom for that?
I would say that your spouse comes first, and you might be surprised that I might say that. But the relationship trumps growing food. And the best way, I think, to bring somebody to your side is to be on their side first. Be very supportive of things they're doing. I would say begin doing what you can without taking away what they expect from you or what you've been given to the relationship. So, for example, starting a pot of, growing some things in pots if they're cool with it. You making sure that's okay. Can I grow? Would it be okay with you? Whether you're the male or the female, I don't think it matters. Can I grow? You might know the answer, so you might not have to ask, but starting with some pots out on just do what you can. That doesn't take a lot of time or energy or money from the situation, and growing it and you becoming a happier person, you also being aware of the other person and trying to see their needs and meet those needs, them seeing that you're happy, you're doing better, and then what if you grew basil and you put it on the pizza and it was just delicious? What if you managed to grow your own tomato and you made BLTs? Okay, and then they're like, oh, maybe we could put a garden in the yard. Okay, some people, this is a crazy idea, but some people have had my show on, and they just watched the show, and the spouse. Somebody told me this on the tour, the spouse would kind of make fun, and you walk by, watching that guy again or whatever. Well, eventually, the spouse ended up watching it and ended up being the bigger fanboy. So, just they need to see the benefit without taking away from them in the first place. That's my opinion. There's certainly maybe other ways, but it's maybe not what most people want to hear, but I think that's a good place to start.
Mountain Mama is asking if you've ever seen an egg inside of an egg.
I haven't, but I've heard of that happening recently.
Said.
Maybe she contacted me or something, but that's crazy. I'm not surprised. I've never heard of it, but I'm not surprised. It's crazy stuff and happen all the time like that.
And somebody says, what are your thoughts on rabbits?
I love rabbits. We visited 4 different rabbit systems on the Great American Farm Tour. Actually, I forget the number, but it's absolutely ridiculous how, as a meat lover, how as a protein lover, animal protein lover, rabbits just trump chickens. If you look over how much a rabbit will give you in protein over a 2-year time versus a chicken, laying their eggs, hatching out their chickens and counting their offspring as part of it, and how many eggs the chickens are going to give you throughout that time versus a rabbit and how fast they breed is absolutely phenomenal. I think it was like, I shouldn't say, but it's like 5 to 10 times more. It might even be more. It just blew my mind, the amount of protein you can get off a rabbit. And the thing about a rabbit is they don't need, or at least we don't think, I shouldn't say like chickens need grain, because we've been doing chickens for 10,000 years. Only the last 100 years we've been feeding them grain. But in our society, we think chickens need grain. And the rabbit, though, we're still acceptable with. We're still okay with just feeding the rabbit grass, and they do fine on that. And that's something that we have even in a yard. To move a rabbit around, why not put it on the ground in a Joel Salatin style, a hand-hewn farm style rabbit tractor, and move them around in the grass? But here's the problem: most people don't want to eat a rabbit. So if you can get over that, we talked about it earlier, eating seasonally and just trying to eat what you can grow type of thing. Just depends on your comfort level. If you're cool with eating rabbit, go for it. My word, go for it.
That's it.
That's it?
I haven't seen any else.
Okay.
Looks like we've... everybody's either been real polite or we've run them out of questions. I don't know which.
Okay.
So, thank you so much
right.
for your time here this evening. We're looking forward to meeting up with you in Virginia later this year.
Oh,
and,
I can't wait.
Are you going to have the whole family with you?
Nope, just Rebecca and I. We're going to have a date.
Ah,
there you go.
Okay.
Well, do it. You're allowed to do that.
That's a 2-day affair there, and I know we're getting.
I know.
We're getting there a day early, and I don't know if we're staying an extra day or not. But if you like, would be more than happy to treat you to dinner one of those nights.
Yeah, we'll be there the 2 full days, so we'll see you there.
All right.
Okay. Thank you
Justin,
so much,
okay.
Justin.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You have no idea.
Okay, thank you.
Have a wonderful week.
Have a wonderful week. And
okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
There you go, folks. Hope we answered hope we got everybody's question. If not, I apologize. That's why I turned the chat to slow mode, because it was flying there for a little bit.
So, yeah, we ran into some technical difficulties, but we overcame. We got him on the phone anyway. And we thank everybody for being here.
Great evening. I am going to go find my own bed. And
it's in that room over there.
Don't even bother me in the morning.
Bother you? Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh, that was the hardest bed I've ever slept on. Oh.
So, anybody got anything for us before we close her out?
Right on the home front.
What's coming up next for us? We need a guest for next week, don't we?
Yes, we need a guest for almost all summer. Just to let everyone know.
Now
if you'd like to be a guest on our show, please let us know.
We've got a couple more that are going to be coming up that we talked to at the conference this past weekend. But we're not going to hit them up this quickly.
Well, I know Dawn, Country Girl, said she'd be on again whenever we needed her.
Okay. All right. So
the next one that we have scheduled is Memorial Day.
Okay.
So
what about our travels? What's coming up there? We're going to be going to Michigan. Is that the next travel?
That is in July, so I think Layman's is sooner.
Yeah,
Joel Salatin.
There'll be a thing at Layman's with Joel Salatin, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy.
Yeah.
And
then
be at Layman's in Kid Run, Ohio.
Michigan, the Hoot Nanny that Pratt Family Homestead sponsors or hosts. Excuse me.
Yeah. And
can't wait for us to start our garden. Well, like I said, I think it's thought out now. We can start getting it ready.
Yeah.
But
well, now it's mud.
Yeah, being in Ohio, I usually don't start planting until Mother's Day, and even then, Mother Nature has played evil tricks on us. So somewhere between Mother's Day and Memorial Day. But wasn't Mother's Day used to be the third Sunday in the month?
I don't know.
And
I'm not getting into that.
I always thought it was third Sunday. It's next Sunday. That's not the third.
So
yes, I agree. Red Duchess Farm needs to do a Monday night show. I totally agree. Tigger, you're right. We do pass by enough, don't we? I wave every time we go through Columbus.
All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful week. Tomorrow night I do have the editing videos question and answer session, I guess.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m.
Have any questions on video editing or general computer problems, that's the guy. That's Mr. IT guy right there. We
generally we feature Filmora in that class because it's a very good software from beginners to a lot more experienced. They can all use it very well. Has some limitations, but it's inexpensive. And it's very intuitive and easy to use.
There we go. Rocky Brook, email us, twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. And whatever Monday night you want, if it's open, we'd love to have you on.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm going to try to harvest some dandelions. I'm going to see if there's any violets in the yard.
EK Hill, thank you for being here.
And I also have a humongous basket of strawberries that we purchased on the way home at a fruit stand. So everyone, have a great evening. Thank you for stopping and being with us tonight. Country Girl, love you more.
Well, I guess we haven't seen a lot of videos here over the weekend, but somebody just said in here that Mapleberry Farm had to move their camper because it was sinking.
Water. Bad.
So, Mid-South Homestead.
Yes, it is.
From Southwest Tennessee. Thank you for stopping by, and Papa Truck and Country Girl and
George. It was great seeing you again this weekend.
Everybody else.
Saturday night was a riot. We had fun.
So, with that, I think we'll pull the curtain on tonight.
And Mark, we need to talk you and Jamie into being a guest.
So we will see everybody later. Thanks so much for stopping. Bye bye.